Welcome to more Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta Specialtatin. Today we have some Group 4 cars around Dragon Trail Seaside. And that's the final time I'm ever going to do the intro for Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta, because this is physically the final race I recorded that I haven't done something with for Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta. I didn't actually realize that until I looked through the races again, but this is by default going to be the last one, because it's the last one left that I haven't done something with. So, well, did I save the best for last? Well, y'all be the judge of it. So far, it's pretty cop-picking and entertaining, and I got to say Dragon Trail Seaside, so that's a bonus, I guess. But anyway, as for the race itself, and not the corny intro, the race itself is pretty good, I guess. It ain't the closest to battles now, but starting off it was, and I'm slowly gaining on the people in front of me from what it's looking like, because they are in a pretty cop-picking close battle, so maybe, just maybe, the more they battle, the more I can get into the pretty cop-picking close battle. As of now, though, I don't know if I really want to get in a huge battle, because this was the final legitimate race that I actually did in the beta. It was the last day, the final Group 4 event of the day, race 3 of that one. The Group 3s, I did the races, but I not really all that fast for Group 3s anyway, with damage on and all that. I just figured I may as well go out not getting in anyone's way, not making anybody mad. I just sort of ran around on my own, just so I didn't make anyone mad. I figured I'd just end in a way that makes as much people happy as possible. There was no way I was going to do good in the Group 3 races anyway, so I figured I may as well not force the issue. For this, though, the Group 4 races, I'm alright. As I've said in previous Specialtatins, Group 4s around this track ain't the best for me. Like, I'm pretty good with Group 4s. Like, if this was Brands Hats, I'd be top 10 in America, probably. But around this particular track, I'm alright. I'm about average of the best class of people, instead of usually top 3rd or top 4th of the best class of people. But one thing that I do have sort of kind of in my quote-unquote advantage right now is that I ain't really all that much in the battle, if anybody. I've caught up to this general battle, but as I said before, I probably don't want to force the issue, Group 3 or Group 4, because damage. I'm in this battle, and that's probably where I'm going to stay for now, just in it, not the middle of, just sort of in the general vicinity of the battle. Once it gets close to the end of the race, I might try to actually pass some people. For now, though, I'll just ride it out and see what they do. Which ain't a bad strategy, really, especially because this race literally did not matter then and does not matter now, more than entertainment purposes. Because this was the final Group 4 race. This was it. Everybody was probably pushing as hard as they could to try to do as good as they could. So me doing the opposite, well, let's just see how this goes, folks. Let's just see how this goes. It's going decent. I'm higher than where I started, I guess. So, yeah, I started 6th. I'm in 5th. I'm in a battle for possibly 3rd. So, there you have it, folks. Maybe I could get a podium in the last race to actually try hard in. Possibly, actually. Jiminy Cricket, I even see 2nd in the not really general vicinity yet, but on camera. Maybe us all 3 drafting in a train like this, with 2nd having no draft. By the time this straightaway is over, 2nd will actually be within drafting distance of our general pack. Maybe, just maybe. Though our general pack probably doesn't want to pass anybody if we want to get to 2nd, because battling between the two there's... Well then. Battle between the one there, and I'm the other one now. That was slightly dirty by the new 3rd place driver there, wasn't it? I guess in a way that helps me, but in a not at all legitimate way. And, well, there was that, folks. I guess that's him going back to give the position back, but it's kind of too late at that point. If he was going to do that, he should have automatically done that before he dropped so far way back, he being a driver he wrecked, and then yeah, whatever. That was an awkward sequence all around, but nonetheless, now I have a clean track ahead of me. I have someone right behind me, but as long as he doesn't get ahead, I can still pretty much race my own lines. But he's already on the inside, isn't he? He has that. Well, he kind of overdrove it there. I think all in all, the Genesis ended up being slightly better on the straights by the end of the beta, but the GTR is more stable all around. So the highest that aliens could generally get a slightly better time in the Genesis than they could in the GTR, but people are just sort of okay, not great like me. It generally did better in the GTR. I tried the Genesis and I was okay in it. I was better in the Genesis than I was in the 4C, but I still wasn't as good in either as I was in the GTR, so I pretty much stuck with it the whole beta. Other than the Mustang, which I did a poem about, the GTR was the first Group 4 I got. I'd like to forget about the Mustang, honestly. So this was the first Group 4 I got where I tried to be competitive with, and it was really the one I've still stayed the most competitive with. And it's still staying competitive as of now because that Genesis is right by me. So this is scary. This turn is sort of kind of dangerous because there's a whole heck of a heap of rumble strip and grass and wall. And somebody already got wrecked here before. And now that car's getting loose in front of me, which I hope doesn't spin out right directly in front of me because damage is on it. Probably won't go ghost because it's a very inconsistent ghosting system. And yeah, this is scary. But whatever, it is fun though. And it is for a podium though. So... that's all I'm gonna say now. I don't know how this is gonna go yet, so sort of kind of feel I'm excited that I'm in such a good battle. I'm scared that this ain't gonna stay as good of a battle for too long, and I'm sort of bittersweet that I'm in 4th right now. 4th is better than I started, but I know I can finish higher, so... Now it's also the final lap, and 3rd is sort of kind of creeping away, so I'm gonna have to drive pretty hard here. There's really no more time for just laying back and see what others do, because I'm right in the middle of it. What others do could predict my race now. There's someone behind me, there's someone ahead of me, so I can't really lay back or the driver behind me is gonna get around. But I don't know how hard I can push either to try to catch the driver in front of me, because that could end up getting a driver behind me to end up getting there too, and well... Or it could be that the Cicada Chaos is the Cicada Chaos, and y'all have even seen the compilation of the Cicada Chaos, and... Yeah, that's one of the hardest turns in racing, folks. That's one of the hardest turns in racing. And with damage on, that pretty much ruins my race. I don't really know if I 100% like that aspect of the damage. Because if there wasn't damage there, I probably would have just got 5th. I don't mind damage if it's driver on driver or driver racing dirty, but I think they should have some way where if it's just an honest mistake that didn't hurt anybody, it's not as severe as if you're purposely trying to wreck somebody. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but that would honestly be nice. And that would prevent dirty driving even more, too, because that would be a more severe penalty for legitimately dirty driving than just a mistake. But nonetheless, that was a competitive race. It was an anticlimactic ending, but there's not much I can do with the Cicada Chaos. It's the Cicada Chaos for a reason. So, well, Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta as a whole, I've already talked about all that and stuff, and all the bonus ones was just sort of extra, so... This didn't really change all that much in the grand scheme of things, but I think all in all what we've learned through the beta is that you can do whatever you want. It's going to be the other drivers that decide your race ultimately a lot of the times. Unless you can get a completely clean track for a lot of the race, it's not 100% up to you. If another driver pushes behind you and wrecks you, you're out, like was seen this race. If a driver's in front of you that you're trying to catch and you do one thing wrong, then you're out of the race. And yeah, it's not exactly the friendliest of systems, but I guess it is realistic, and I guess they have indeedy dandy burned the old system to the ground, so yeah.